Hello, YouTubers! The new Time Travel Heimlich 88. I'm back with another Doctor Who DVD review. And yes, we continuing to celebrating Doctor Who's 50th anniversary. So today, I'm going to review Doctor Who Robot. Yes, I love this story. Great opening to the adventure. It's a classic. I love the story. This four-part adventure originally transmitted on December 28th, 1974 through January 18th, 1975. And this is Tom Baker's first appearances as the Fourth Doctor. And it also opens up the Doctor Who story of a 12th season. So, let's begin with the plot. Following his third regeneration, the Doctor briefly becomes delirious and then falls unconscious in front of Sarah Jane Smith and Brigadier Lethbridge Stewart of UNIT. The Brigadier has Lieutenant Harry Sullivan to take the Doctor into his care. Soon the Doctor wakes and indulges Harry to try to sneak off in his TARDIS, but the Brigadier and Sarah Jane stop him, convincing him to help in finding the culprit in the theft of the top secret plans for disintegrating Greater Gun. The Brigadier takes the Doctor to the Ministry of Defense Advanced Research Center, where the plans were stored when the Doctor observed crushed flowers and rectangular footprints. Units set to protect the factory when the critical parts for the gun are manufactured, but find the culprit is able to outwit them, including following up underground to collect the final component necessary for the weapons. Meanwhile, Sarah Jane investigates the National Institute of Advanced Scientific Research, qualified known as the Think Tank. There she finds that Director Hilda Winter and her assistant Arnold Jellicoe are developing a robot experimental prototype robot K1 to be used to perform tasks in hazardous location in place of human. Sarah Jane learns that K1 was originally built by Professor J. Kellawell, a former member of the Think Tank, but has now turned his sight on altered energy. Kellawell attests that he had disassembled K1 after finding its thought processing would grow too quickly, and further insists that Winters, Jericho, nor anyone at the Think Tank had the capacity to program it correctly, and that if they ever tampered with the program, the robot will likely to suffer existing crisis. Sarah Jane takes a sympathy on the robot. Later, K1 appears at the Kellawell residence and attempts to kill him, but when the Doctor, Sarah Jane, and UNIT arrive, the robot become confused and escape. Unknown to UNIT, Winters and Jellicoe had instructed K1 to kill Cabinet Minister Joseph Chambers as the enemy of humanity and use his complete disintegrated gun to steal papers from his personal safe. UNIT discovered this death, and the Brigadier explained the importance of Chambers. The stolen papers were launch codes for the nuclear weapons of major nations, given voluntary to the British as neutral entity to only be released in a time of great need. Further, Jellicoe, Winters, and others of the Think Tank are found to be members of the Scientific Reform Society, seeking to put scientists in charge of the world, believing they can make a better decision for humanity than the current government. Learning a reform meeting the night, UNIT prepares to move out, while Sarah Jane, and after discovering Kellawell is also the member, convincing him to go to the meeting to allow her to sneak into it. At the meeting, Sarah Jane is stunned to learn that Kellawell is the mastermind behind the plot, and they had to rebuild K1 with Winters and Jellicoe as to get to the launch code to force humanity changed ways and have finned K1's attack at his home. K1 discovers Sarah Jane's presence and Winters ordered to kill K1. Her. Kellawell had never experienced to put Sarah Jane under harm and restless. Winters is more victorious than he originally thought. When Unit arrives, Winter and Jellicoe, Kellawell, and K1 escape with Sarah Jane as her hostage. Harry, leaving the entire enter the Fang Tank and go under the disguise of a medical inspection to see the group enter the bunker and warns Unit before it's captured. Winter set a list of demanding to the world governments and gives them 30 minutes to comply. Specifically order Kellawell to connect launch computers and prepare to send the launch code. Kellawell was never explained to the plan to get the stage hesitate. Sarah Jane and Harry attempt to escape, while Kellawell's assistant Winter ordered K1 to stop the pair. But the robot is also conflict to the program, eventually fires the disintegrator gun at Kellawell, killing him. The death of the creator puts in further confused. The Doctor arrives and successfully counters as Unit Force attacks take Winters and Jellicoe away. K1 reacts to Brennan's attack to Unit. K1 seeks Sarah Jane to protect her. As a result of Oedipus complex in developing Sarah Jane's piteous compassion, according to the Doctor, Unit fires a second copy of disintegrated guns, the robot, but the blast is absorbed, creating a robot to grow enormously. The Doctor used his car Bessie to spread the virus onto the K1. The robot slowly shrinks down to size. As they regroup back to Unit headquarters, Sarah Jane is saddened by the loss of K1. The Doctor offers to cheer him up by giving him a jelly baby and a trip in the TARDIS, extending the invitation to Harry as well. The TARDIS dematerialized just as the Brigadier comes to the laboratory and frets about letting Buckingham Palace that the guests will be late for the celebrating dinner. This is the last Doctor Who story to be produced by Barry Letts. A note, this Unit laboratory set is still using the John Pertwee set. Yes, fantastic story. This marks the final appearances of the Doctor automobile Betsy, but the Doctor's car will return in The Five Doctors. Here's the spine. Here's the back. Here's the still pictures. On the DVD features, we have audio commentary by actor Tom Baker and Elizabeth Sladen and writer Terrence Diggs. Our Friends Electric, The Tunnel Effect. DVD ROM features, Easter egg, and so forth. Here's the Dix 4 robot. Fantastic story. If you're a Fourth Doctor fan, I recommend to get this episode. It is fantastic. Yes. This episode, by the way, before Tom Baker was cast as the new Fourth Doctor, he appears in numbers of films. I love that one, but I never noticed. This episode was the first shot entirely on OB videotape instead of shooting entirely on film. This episode introduced the modified slit scan title sequence. Was produced by Bernard Lodge. The title sequence for the Tom Baker version, I love it. It is fantastic. Well, that's it for this review. If you like to see a Doctor Who DVD you would like me to request, post a comment. This is the new Time Travel Jaime 88 saying so long.